بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today inshallah we are going to take unit 6 lesson 2. You will find this lesson on page number 54 and 55, flinghigh4. If you open the first page you will find 3 pictures.
Unit 6.
Look at these 3 pictures and try to tell me or try to explain what can you see at these 3 pictures. Look at the first one. What can you see at the first picture? Here is a man and a laptop, and he looks like what? He looks or he is working on his device. But do you think he is satisfied? Do you think he is happy? Do you think he is, for example, upset? He looks like angry or upset, or so I think from this picture, if you look closely, he looks like, for example, upset or sad. Look at the second picture here. Here is a monitor. Where can we find this monitor? In this column we have a name of cities, and this is gate number and flight number, so I think it's for airport monitor. Look at picture C. What can you see at picture C? Here we have a man. What is he holding in his hand? He is holding pills or medicine. What do you think he does look like? He looks like sick or has a terrible or problem or health issue. So we are going to listen to a dialogue to discover what happened. And we are going to listen to 3 dialogues or 3 conversations, and we are going to match each one with the correct person. So try to listen.
Unit 6, Lesson 3. 1.
I started to feel a bit under the weather a couple of days ago. I had a bad cold, but I decided to go swimming yesterday. Big mistake. Today I really feel bad. I've taken some aspirin, but I have a terrible headache, and I think I have a fever. Unless I start feeling better soon, I won't be able to go to work tomorrow. If I don't get it together soon.
2. I had to catch a plane from San Diego to San Francisco, but that same afternoon I had a fairly important meeting and didn't want to cancel it. By the time it was over, I was late. I drove really fast to the airport, but there was a lot of traffic. I arrived just as the plane was pulling away from the gate. I went to the meeting because it was really important, but it lasted so long I missed my flight. If I had made that flight. 3.
I hate it when this happens. I was doing a long report on my computer, and there was a power cut. Unless you save your work regularly, you can lose it all when the power goes off. Well, of course, I had forgotten to save the document, so when the computer went dead, I lost the whole thing. 5 pages. I would have...
So can you match each person with the correct photo or each conversation? So number 1, the first
Unit
clip
6,
is
Lesson 3.
The first clip is with C. Number 2 with number 2 with B, and number 3 with E. 1A, sorry, 1C,
Unit 6,
2B,
Lesson 3.
3C. Now
1.
I started to feel a bit under
we are
the
going
weather
to
a
hear
couple of
again,
days ago. I had a bad...
but this time for answering this question. What do you think feeling under the weather means? What do you think? One of the persons on the conversation mentioned this phrase, under the weather. What do you think he means? And what was Jack's big mistake? Or what did Jack do? What was his big mistake? And what was Paul lately leaving for the airport? And number 4, what happened to Andrew's computer when he was working? Something bad happened. So what happened? And what happened as a result of that? So we are going to play the conversation again, and for 2 reasons: to answer these questions and to make this kind of sentence. You are going at your home to complete the missing final sentence in each incident. Listen and check your answers. If I would have, if I. So this will be as a task for you. So try to listen carefully in order to find out the answers of these questions and to fill in these blanks.
Unit 6, Lesson 3. 1.
I started to feel a bit under the weather a couple of days ago. I had a bad cold, but I decided to go swimming yesterday. Big mistake. Today I really feel bad. I've taken some aspirin, but I have a terrible headache, and I think I have a fever. Unless I start feeling better soon, I won't be able to go to work tomorrow. If I don't get it together soon.
2. I had to catch a plane from San Diego to San Francisco, but that same afternoon I had a fairly important meeting and didn't want to cancel it. By the time it was over, I was late. I drove really fast to the airport, but there was a lot of traffic. I arrived just as the plane was pulling away from the gate. I went to the meeting because it was really important, but it lasted so long I missed my flight. If I had made that flight. 3.
I hate it when this happens. I was doing a long report on my computer, and there was a power cut. Unless you save your work regularly, you can lose it all when the power goes off. Well, of course, I had forgotten to save the document, so when the computer went dead, I lost the whole thing. 5 pages. I would have...
So I hope you all find the answer of this question. The first answer is under the weather means a general feeling of ill health, being tired, getting headaches, even though you are not actually sick. If you just feel tired, you can say this phrase under the weather. So it means general feeling of ill health or being tired, getting headaches, etc., even though you are not actually sick. This is the first answer. And the second question was, why was Paul late leaving for the airport? Because he went swimming. This is the reason why he was late for the airport. So he missed the plane. This is the correct answer. He went swimming. And number 3, the question was why or what, sorry, why was Paul late leaving for the airport? He had an important meeting which he didn't want to miss. And question 4 What happened to Andrew's computer? There was a power cut. This is the terrible of Andrew's computer. So there was a power cut. Number 5, what happened as a result? This is the same question related to Andrew. So he hadn't saved the report, so he lost the document. This is the answer of number 5. I hope you all get the answer by your own self. If you have such a dialogue to write sentences and seek for information, try to take your time in listening. Don't just listen one or twice. It will never be enough. Try to listen more than 3 times and take your time to write down the information. The second task is to fill in the sentence or to complete the sentence if I. You can do it while you can repeat the audio again because we don't have a time, so no need to play the conversation again.
Unit 6.
Here we have grammar parts, mixed conditional, if and unless. We have discussed at the previous episode about if and conditionals and the type of if. Today we are going to know how mix conditionals, if and unless. It's often possible to mix the tenses in conditional sentences. It's okay to mix the tenses. For example, here to use tense combinations other than the traditional conditional type. Here we have the example. We have some examples which prove this saying it's allowable or it's okay to mix tenses. If I were you, I wouldn't have said that. If I were you, I wouldn't have said that. Pay attention here. I wouldn't have said that. If he didn't like the meal, he wouldn't have eaten it. Pay attention. Look at this tense in if clause and this tense in the result clause. And I'd be feeling better if I hadn't gone to bed so late last night. I'd be feeling better if, pay attention here, we put if at the middle of my sentence, so I hadn't gone to bed so late last night. So we can mix the tenses like what we have in these examples by follow this formulation. If plus past simple اللي هو second conditional which we have discussed before, plus wouldn't. As you notice here, we have wouldn't, and plus have plus past participle or the third conditional. So here we have this formulation, and we can also, the action happened or the verb, we can mention the verb which is really happened. And number 3, we can use would with the bare infinitive like what we have here. البير infinitive اللي هو المصدر من الفعل. Second conditional اللي هي صيغة second conditional plus F. Okay, and past perfect. What is the past perfect أو الماضي التام اللي هو third conditional. We have had plus the verb in past participle أو الفعل بالتصريف الثالث اللي هو the action happened. So this formulation helps you to mix the tenses together. How can we mix conditionals? We here, as you notice, we mix type 3, third conditional with second conditional. The first part was the second conditional اللي هي القاعدة F الشرطية الثانية مع الثالثة together. So here we have mix it, And in the third example, we mix the bare infinitive or second conditional with the third conditional. So it's okay to mix the conditionals, the different kind of conditionals in one sentence. We have exercise here. It's often possible to mix the tenses conditional as what we have mentioned already, but this part, something wrong. Okay. And هنا the exercise, you have to do it by yourself. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs. If Omar hasn't arrived yet, he probably and not come at all. Not come at all. We have the first part here, hasn't arrived yet. We have to complete with won't or will, would not, and come. So we have to add will plus not. So not already موجودة عندك at between practice. Number 2, if Yasser was at the game last night, I wouldn't have seen him. I wouldn't have seen him. So the verb between practice supposed to be negative, so we add not afterward, then have then the verb in past participle. As you know, see, one of the irregular verb which supposed to be see, so, seen. Number 3, if you hadn't knocked on my door, this is the first part, we have to complete it. I would still be asleep. I would still be asleep. Here we have complete with the basics, with the base form after طبعا would. And number 4, I still wouldn't know about their problem if you hadn't told me. Hadn't, here had plus the verb in past participle till, it's told. You can write it down. I think it's clear now. Try to write it down, try to answer it at your book. Okay. Number C, in some sentences it is possible to use unless in the place of if. Not. Look at this example. She will be here if she isn't too busy. How can we use unless instead of if? She will be here unless she is too busy. Here, unless give us it's the same meaning with the negative. It holds the negativity meaning. So no need to put not again. إذا كتبنا الجملة مرة ثانية نستغني عن النات. So نستخدم unless فتغني أو تحل محل if والنفي together. So she will be here ستكون هنا إلا في حال إلا إذا she is too busy لم تكن مشغولة. So here we use استخدمنا if أو استخدمنا unless بدل if, and we keep the sentence positive. No need to write the negative as I told you. I will call you when I get there if it's not too late. Here ممكن the order of such an exercise يقول لك مثلا rewrite the sentence with unless. عيد كتابة الجملة مع unless. It's okay to rewrite the sentence. Just remove if and put instead unless and keep the sentence without negative. So it will be I will call you when I get there unless it's too late. إلا إذا كان الوقت متأخرا. So this is how we replace if with unless. So the other exercise, rephrase the sentences using the words given without changing the meaning. So you have to rewrite the same sentence as I told you, the order, but keep the meaning, just make a little bit change. Here we have, unless it rains, we are going to the beach on Saturday. We have to use if instead of unless. It means that احنا بما أن استخدمنا unless there is no negative. لما نرجع نستخدم if we have to put negative to the sentence. So it will be if it, this part supposed to be negative. So I need a negative form. Does, طبعا بأن the first part of the sentence in present, so I need a present helping verb. Doesn't rain, we are going to the beach on Saturday. So this is how we can replace if with unless, and we can do the same with unless instead of if. Look at the second example here. If you don't write to me, I will be angry with you. Unless, we have to use unless instead of if. Do you remember when I told you that unless give the meaning of the negative, although it doesn't mean negative, but it gives us the same meaning. It looks positive, but in fact it's give us the negative meaning. So if you don't write to me, I will be angry with you. Unless you write to me. Unless you write to me. What did we do in this example? We remove if, of course, and we remove don't, do not. Okay, اللي هو negative. So unless you write to me, okay, comma, I will be angry with you. نفس الجملة البارت الثاني without any changing, بدون أي تغيير. Look at the third example here. If Mustafa can play in this week's game, our team will probably lose. So we have to use unless instead of if. What I have to add, I have to remove the negative. So if Mustafa can't play, it will be can without the not. So unless Mustafa can play this week's game, our team will probably lose. Okay? And the fourth example here, Anas will be upset unless we invite him to join us for the dinner. We have to use if instead of unless. So we use if, it means that we have to add negative. So the sentence will be, if we don't invite Anas to join us for dinner, he would be upset. What did we do in this statement? What is the changes? Anas will be upset. This is the part without any changing. So unless, we remove unless, but if we invite, we have to add negative. We cannot add negative without helping verb. So we have to bring helping verb do, then add negative, and complete the sentence. And don't forget that we can swap over the clauses. The meaning will be the same if we just swap over the clauses. So this is our lesson for today. I hope you get benefit from it, and thanks a lot, and goodbye.